So I want to say thank you, Seth, for putting the heating on, because my mum has. First of all, your heating comes on so quickly, and I feel very toasty, and I feel like you put it on 5 seconds ago. My mum told me she's not putting the heating on until it's cold, and to her that means November. So do you know, I sit in the house in my work meetings with a blanket underneath the table so they can't see, and I have my dressing gown on deck because it's actually very cold in my house, and I had fluffy socks on this week because it was freezing cold. Meanwhile, everybody else who I know has the heating on. My mum said, no, what I'll do, I'll buy you a little portable radiator. So she's bought one for me, and she's bought two, one for my bedroom and one for downstairs. She's like, yeah, because the house isn't cold. It's cold, actually.
That's what thank your mum.
No, what?
No, thank you, mum, because my dad wouldn't. My dad said it's not. There's one time it was the summertime, and it was summertime in England doesn't mean anything, and it was a cold day, and we wanted to put on the heater, and my dad came back and he said the heater's been on, and if he comes back and the heater's on, it's been on all day to him, yeah, because he doesn't know when it was switched on. He said, you guys, I'm going to show you the bill when it comes, yeah. You guys think that this money grows on trees, like you can't switch on the heat. It's summer. What do you mean summer in the UK? It's cold. We're cold. We literally all have to agree that it's cold before he puts on the heater, and even then it's like, put it on for an hour, let the house be warm.
What does an hour do? It doesn't do anything.
Listen, this is what makes me angry. I'm sorry, Steph, but sometimes this just makes me angry. I lived in a house that it was always warm when it needed to be warm, and it was cool when it needed to be cool.
Yep.
I don't feel like I need to be suffering in cold in my house.
To be honest, I'm with Lyndon.
Because it's cold and I live in the UK, so I need to be warm.
So you're the one who likes the heating on all the time?
I like the heating. When it's cold, I need the heating on.
I
get very angry if I'm in my house. If I'm in my house and I have to put what?
Thank you, Lyndon.
If I'm in the house and I have to put on a blanket, I'm angry.
Me too.
No, that's not.
If I'm in a blanket, then not in bed, like just around, like I'm sitting on the computer or sitting in the living room, and I have to put on a blanket because it's too cold. It's too cold.
Do you know it's so?
Bond the bill. We'll pay the bill.
Do you know what's so funny? My dad used to say, we put on a blanket. My dad would say, it's not even that cold. You know what? You're sick. You need to check. You need to check your levels. You need to check.
He's not thinking about that.
You need to check your
dad's
iron
not
levels.
thinking about that because your dad's from Africa. He knows when it's cold.
No, he said that we're sick and we need to check our iron levels. And it's cheap because we are anemic. He uses it against us.
So I say I'm anemic,
To
and
be
my mum
honest,
tells me to go and take my Floridix and have an orange.
Yeah. He says,
honestly, every day at work, I said to them, sorry everybody, I've got a dressing gown on, but I am dressed. It's just very cold in my house, and I've got on socks. I had to go and dig up my winter socks for my boots because it's cold in the house.
Do you know when I was the coldest ever? You know, there's coldness in black people's houses and there's coldness in white people's houses. Let me tell you something. We have these really lovely neighbours up the road, and it's a white couple. One is a photographer and the other one is something else. Who knows? and they've got two children. One's called Clementine and the other one is called Clementine and something to do with a no, not Satsuma. It's like a bear's
Cholula.
name. It's a bear. It's like it's twins. Clementine and Clementine and something with a bear. Something. Anyway,
Bear.
There's like a bear.
Bear, Yogi Bear.
No, I don't know.
Oh
We're not going to disrespect them too because they're lovely kids. So they asked us to babysit. So like when we're teenagers, like especially Anne, they asked her to babysit, and they asked me to babysit some of the days. Oh, lovely. Went to babysit their twins. Friend, I've never felt coldness. The house was colder than the outside. How that happened, I don't know. It was so cold. I was like, I'm actually going to die of like, what's it called? Hypothermia in the house. I had to call my sister to bring me my coat from my house. Yeah, I had to call my sister because
Why didn't they have the heating on?
No, but it's like some old heating. Like it's a huge house, but they've got like this old system of heating, or they put on a fire.
Sometimes in those houses, they only ever put the Agar on, and the Agar is meant to heat up the whole house. But like,
they didn't
no
leave
one's
it
got
on.
time for that.
And I know that if I call them, they'll say, "Yeah, of course you can put on the heating." But you know, sometimes, and I'm scared. I've got like PTSD from my dad telling that why do you have to really submit a whole proposal to why it's really necessary. It's necessary to put the heating.
It makes me angry. Me and my mum have a whole argument about the heating, and then she's like, "Look, I'm wearing a summer dress." I said to her, "Mum, wear the summer dress and be happy. I can't put on more clothes. How can you be sitting in a house wearing a coat? Are you alright?"
We just bring our duvets from the bedroom.
It's ridiculous.
It makes me angry. Listen, I was never cold at my home in Birmingham.
Oh yeah.
Why don't it have to be cold? Why have to be cold now?
You can't be cold and you can't be hungry in your own house. That's not allowed.
We just bring our duvets from upstairs, and my dad has more stress about duvets being in the sitting room than he is.
What does he want? What does he want? To have
He just
duvets
wants us to be normal. He said, can you see me? My arms are out. Why can't you just be here?
And they always want to show you, look, I'm wearing a summer dress. Look, my arms are out. Maybe you're just very special. We thank God for you, but we're cold. Me and my brother's like, yeah, I'm all right, you know. I said, why can't you just join my team? Say it's cold.
My aunt puts
You're right, but you could be better.
Is it?
You could be warmer. You could be cozy in your
Honestly,
home.
We're not going to be cozy till December, to be honest, and even then, who knows? It's very sad.
That's
It's
the
cold
only
is
other
not
thing.
a joke thing, man. It's not a joke thing.
The only other, do you know actually?
It really upsets me. It really upsets me because why is someone? Why
But
am I?
you know what? I think it's very common for couples to be like, one person one's hot and one person one's cold, and one person wants heat and one person doesn't.
And do you know, I'm so used to the heating not being on that I don't really mind. Like I actually find it quite cozy to be covered with something, and especially when I'm going to bed, I want the window open if there's no spot. Yeah, I want it to be kind of cold so then cover myself and it's warm underneath the cover.
Absolutely not. I'll wake up sneezing if the window's open.
No, I wake up sneezing if the AC is on. The only other thing that my parents used to really, really get annoyed about and say, no, we've had enough, is toilet paper. They say, the toilet paper, this should last for a whole month. If you use it in 7 days, you know what you're going to do. He's like, is someone eating the toilet paper? That's what my mum used to say.
I told you,
who
my
is
flatmate
eating the toilet paper?
I swear my flatmate used to eat toilet paper. It's impossible for one individual to go through a whole toilet roll.
You know exactly what they're doing.
No, it's so annoying. It's
my dad used to say,
annoying.
listen, you just... Do you want me to show you how to use? You fold it. This is what you need. This stuff doesn't work here.
My flatmate used to.
In our household, people do. But
you know what? It's okay to do it when you're buying toilet paper. But when I'm buying toilet paper,
it's a bit mad.
I don't know what she does. Honestly, she used to eat it. She must. Because it didn't make sense. Anyway, whatever.
It's easy to think about when you live with other people, but at the same time, I'm going to use as much toilet paper as I need because I need to be clean.
Amen.
My parents used to apportion. They said, "This is your 4 rolls for the foreseeable time. This is your 4 for everybody. Keep their rolls. God forbid if you leave your own roll in the toilet, we'll finish it. You come back. There's just the cardboard bit to let you know.
Oh no.
Anyway, all right. Another thing I was thinking about the other day, I saw a post that said in an African household, or we're just in a black person's house, if you're sick and then you laugh, if you're laughing, you're not sick anymore. Yeah, that's in my house. What? If you're sick, you're somber.
Yeah.
And literally, I think we've spoken about this before the other day. Yeah.
I've never had to think about, let me not laugh.
No, absolutely.
You do.
So I think I spoke about this in a previous episode that for me to have a day off school, which was never, like literally I'd have to do the A-star acting. I'd need to, if I wanted to have Thursday off, I'd need to start from like maybe Tuesday
You're
day.
talking about pretending to be sick.
Yeah, but even
well,
if
that's
I
a
felt like
different
I was
thing.
going to be sick, I need to figure out when I'm going to start saying, because you can't say it in the morning. There's not enough time for it to load in my parents' mind. So I'll be like, I'm not feeling too well. Wednesday, go to school and push through. And then Thursday, I can stay at home. Now, or like on Sabbath, if I didn't want to go to church, that was another one. If for any reason someone says something and you laugh, and this is it's likely in that household, if you're laughing, if you're joking, if you're shouting with your sisters, if you're just generally merry, there's no way you can be merry and
be sick. I agree.
My parents will say, you're better now. You're actually well. Or you say I'm sick and say, Angela, I heard you laughing about an hour ago downstairs at TV. You're not sick. Sick people don't laugh at things. They're sick.
What? You were allowed to watch TV when you were sick? Let me tell you something.
But if you're sick and you laugh because you saw something on TV, then you're not sick anymore.
You can't even talk in your normal voice. You have
First of all, why are you watching TV when you're sick? When I was sick, and if I was really sick, I was in my bed.
Yeah.
And mum would say to me, "You're so sick, I can't imagine you can go downstairs and watch TV."
Yeah.
So what I'll do,
bring the food.
I will bring the food to you because you don't need to be downstairs.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I just want to watch Sister and Moesha back to back. Friend, but I was a bookworm, so I was happy. I had books in my room.
I don't remember caring about.
Yeah, my mum was serious about sickness, and I don't ever remember not going to school because I was sick.
I don't remember caring.
No. There's something in your head. Can I take it out? No, it's not animal.
Oh,
I wouldn't
God.
be taking out a friend. Right,
I thought it was a spider.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember caring about what was on TV. If I was sick, I was sick. I just needed to stay in my bed until I was better.
But there's levels of sickness.
There's levels, and when you're a little bit better, you can probably go downstairs.
No,
not in my house.
If you're well enough in your sickness to laugh, you're well enough to go to school. You're well enough to do your chores.
That's the difference. So I wasn't
unless you broke your leg.
I wasn't trying to get out of school though. So if I could go back to school, I'd go back to school. It's fine. I wasn't trying to get out of it.
Yeah,
but if I was sick,
maybe you're not well enough to go to school.
Well,
sometimes you're well enough to laugh, but not.
If parents make the mistake of making me go back to school because they think I'm well enough, I'll be back at home sick again.
I think the real problem is why do we have to submit proposals for heating?
Yeah, if I'm sick, I'm sick.
Why do we have to submit proposals for being sick? Like my mum never believed me. Mum, I don't feel well. You're fine. How do you know you're not a nurse?
Listen, my sisters used to come into me. Oh, I heard that you're sick. I said, yes, I'm not really feeling well. I'm laughing at the door. Come and see. I'm just sick. And I'm like, don't make me laugh.
But hold on, did you say that you used to pretend to be sick so you didn't have to go to church? Let me tell you, if I was sick in the week, my mum was like, yeah, wrap yourself up, warm, bring a blanket, hot water bottle, whatever you need, we're all going to church. I think there's been like 2 times in my entire life that I didn't go to church because I was sick. Every other time, no, we're all going. No, I don't feel well. No, sit at the back.
How often are you sick like that though?
I mean, I don't. Enough times.
There's lots of times when I wanted to get out of church.
I never wanted to get out of church, which is just lucky when I was young.
Must be nice.
It was nice, but I can't remember being too sick to go to church. Maybe once, and I hated it. So I was at home by myself and everyone else had gone to church.
I had my books, so I was great. I had my little books and I had my little section of church books, and when they were finished, I read them all over again. I didn't tire. I was okay. But that only happened literally like twice. I remember going to church, really not feeling very well, and I'm like, why do I have to be here? And then meanwhile, I've got to also go to school. I need a break. Oh, no, let's be honest. I'm in church on Saturday, then I've got Pathfinders, rolls eyes, on Sunday, then I've got school on Monday.
The shift never ends.
Isn't it? You just want to have a break.
That is true. And I remember there's also times when, like, say we've been sick for like maybe a couple of days and then they take us back to school and then turns out my mum has to come and pick us up again. My mum would say, listen, if they call me to pick you up, I'm not coming. Don't go there and tell them that you're sick because I'm not coming to pick you up. We know that you're very well. So then you just have to be like,
maybe that's there was nothing I wanted to get out of. Being sick was it ruined everything. It was an inconvenience. It stopped everything that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not being sick.
You never have to do something that you didn't want to do, and
like
chores.
And being sick was the way to get out of it.
Like chores.
Chores are in my house. I'm not really too far away from that. As soon as I'm waiting.
Yeah, but when you're sick, you don't have to do chores.
Yeah, but how long am I sick for?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's like a day or two with no chores. The chores will be back with a vengeance.
What? The chores will wait for you. You can't hoover on a Wednesday? It's okay. I saved it for Friday.
You're never too far away from that.
You.
But school, I didn't feel like there's not a day I think I don't want to go to school today. I never thought about that. Neither was there church.
Wow, you're a good child.
Maybe I was.
You were a good child. Maybe you weren't spoiled. Maybe you weren't.
Lyndon, I didn't say that you were spoiled, you know.
She asked the question.
Anyway, but talking of being sick, what were some of the remedies that your parents had? Because some of my learned friends in school, do you know, you were talking about before in our last episode, you were talking about serving people drinks and like having tea and whatever. Like, I remember going to my friend's house on the one day, I think I was allowed to my friend's house after school, and then my parents were coming to pick me up because I wasn't staying over. And they're like, oh, what do you want to have? And I think at this time I'd figured out that my white friends, if they asked me, they actually meant it, and I could say I wanted something. It's like, oh, can I have a cup of tea? What tea do you want? I'll have peppermint. Shock and horror, because I didn't have peppermint, and I didn't understand it because everybody in my life has peppermint tea. To be honest with you, everybody in my life has peppermint, surrogacy, and chamomile as a standard. Then if you're lucky, you'll get black tea, like English tea. Then you'll have hot chocolate. You might have Caro, disgusting. And
Caro?
Yeah, I didn't drink that. That's a very Adventist thing. Okay. That's like a Adventist non-coffee
I know what it is.
coffee.
I'm just wondering why you...
No, I'm just saying the things that you can get.
No,
these are the things that...
She's cussing your accent. You are so rude.
No, I'm wondering why. No. I'm wondering why why she's saying that she's it's disgusting.
It's not nice. That's why I don't like it.
Was it that bad?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh, I'm thinking of Milo.
How can you confuse the two? And then it's a what?
Milo.
Where?
And then
I said what I said.
It's Milo where?
Go and argue with the Milo
It's
people.
Milo where?
Milo where? It is Milo
Go
base.
and argue with the Milo people.
Anyway, and then you get -8. That's
We
8
need to go
hot
back to
drinks.
this.
No one calls it. Have you ever heard that?
I'm closing my eyes so you can tell that I'm not
Stephanie,
listening
have you
to
ever heard
you.
that? I've never heard that
as
in
I
my
close
life.
my eyes, it means that I'm not hearing
That's
anything.
not an East African thing, you know, because my East African friends don't say Milo.
Oh well.
It's
Is that like a Northwest London thing, or
It's the people that know.
when you go into the shops?
I'm letting you in.
people that know.
I'm letting you in. I never asked for
all
Milo
right.
because I don't want
So
it.
let's take this back to you in English lessons.
Nah,
right?
stop.
MILO.
Yeah.
There is one L,
Yeah.
so it's Milo.
Like
Okay.
If there were
kilo.
2 L's, it would be
Okay.
Milo.
Like
Okay.
But there's
kilo.
1 L,
Okay.
so it's Milo.
Okay.
So it's
So what about oven? You say oven.
no. Don't be rude.
Let me be. Okay.
The oven.
Anyway,
Press
so that's those drinks that you get: peppermint, surrounding, chamomile. What else did I say? English tea. Then I said like hot chocolate. Then Milo, and then Caro or some sort of coffee alternative. Red Bush, yeah, not an
Ginger.
alternative actually, and ginger. That's about like at least 8 or 9 teas. Do you know when I was growing up in school, yeah, and I'm going to my friend's house, the options were you can have PG tips or the equivalent or coffee. I said, They never had peppermint tea. Now, I didn't understand it, but when you deep it, Jamaicans' cure for any ailment in life is peppermint tea or surrogate tea. You've broken your finger, have some tea.
tea.
You know what? I feel a bit tired, have some tea. Oh, I've got stomach cramps, have some peppermint tea. And I didn't realise that this is like a serious thing because in our house, we have an abundance of tea at any moment. But that's just really not,
My
English.
grandma's be on that. She loves all the different teas. But my mum, it was just lemon ginger. And if you're really ill, you get something disgusting. You get lemon ginger and garlic. That's really disgusting, but it really sweet.
You never had the bush tea, surrogate tea that you bought on the stove. Yeah, that's there you are. Then that's at least
we
two.
used to in our household.
Not
We
often, though.
have chai, and we have
Wait, what's the chai is which?
like Indian chai.
yeah. So chais that we used to call. So there's tea. There's tea, which is like just the normal PG tips. But if any visitors come over, if they say they want tea, it's like it's boiling the tea on the stove with chai masala and everything like that. So what the white people call now chai tea, which is ridiculous because that's tea. But chai, we used to like that's what with the nutmeg and the cinnamon and the pimento and everything. That's tea. And then there's the PG tips and maybe Milo, if you're lucky, hot chocolate, and some ginger and lemon. But I don't know if a lot of people had peppermint until much later on. Like
Really?
we decided to have peppermint.
Not
Not in our household anyway.
We always had peppermint, but I think that's actually because it was used as a herbal remedy for anything that you're going through. So, like, I don't know what people drink if they're not feeling well. I literally live on peppermint tea. We have 3 boxes in our house at the
But
moment.
see, you drink tea now is just because you like tea.
I've always liked
Tea is something that I grew up only drinking when I'm not well.
Oh really?
I don't just drink tea
but then-
just for
ginger.
meds.
We used to make ginger tea. when we make chai, we crush real ginger, like we smash it
Sounds
and boil
delicious.
it in the
That sounds
thingy.
delicious because I love ginger tea is like my favorite thing. That's the
My
only thing.
But it
friend
That's,
has like milk and other things.
yeah, I know, but ginger tea is my favorite thing. That's the only tea that I'd probably.
My friend makes ginger
now
tea
that
with
I'm
fresh
grown, I'll
ginger.
probably
It's
that's the
lovely.
only tea that I drink just because I want to drink something nice. But tea, nah.
But this is what I'm
on
saying.
it.
Like for other
Tea
cultures, drinking
solves a
tea
lot of
isn't a
things.
remedy. It's not a health remedy.
It's
Like
just a drink,
in
which
the
is weird for
Caribbean,
me.
they say drink tea to make you feel better. But my
Oh.
mum loves tea, so we would always drink tea all the time.
Tea makes a lot of things better.
Tea and a nap.
What? Tea makes a lot of
and
things better.
a
I'm
nap.
telling you, if you're having a bad day right now, even after listening to our podcast, make a cup of tea, put on the kettle. I'm telling you, it changes everything.
I think normal tea's dead though, man.
Compared to the other teas, of course it is.
Like the whatever PG tips, that's dead.
No, but it's still nice though. I'm not gonna lie. I'll have
Listen,
a good.
it's
I'll have
it's
a good
basically
tea.
a hot water with sugar. That's what you're tasting.
I don't have it with sugar. It's creamy enough.
London, I've never seen you say that face. Yes, London. London said, Suffrage.
But peppermint I can have without sugar because peppermint is a taste that I like.
If you have PG tips
Same
milk,
same with
nice.
ginger. Same with some other teas, like the fruit
But
teas.
if you have Red Bush, you don't. It's creamy.
I don't even. Red Bush is something that I found out about really when I was starting out with Steph because she loved the
Red Bush is delicious,
and I don't think it's anything special.
I had a stint of liking Red Bush, and now I can't taste this. I can't bear the smell.
I like it, but I don't prefer it to chai. My tea of choice is peppermint. But anyway, the point of the matter is this: that like there's when I feel sick, my mum's first reaction is have some tea, and then her second reaction is, you know what, go and lie down, and then I'll make you some tea. And then if it's not that, it's lemon. It's it's lemon and garlic and honey crushed or boiled.
My mum does lemon, garlic, honey, and lemon, garlic, honey, ginger, cayenne pepper, and she'll crush it. If it's something like, my stomach doesn't, because I stay getting random, my stomach is so sensitive, I get food poisoning for the littlest thing. My mum said, you need to walk with activated charcoal. She literally told me that yesterday. She actually said she wants to put it in her, she wants to find a mask that she can put activated charcoal in so it can help filter. I don't know how true this is.
Don't tell people her secrets. That's a patent ready to go. Are you right?
I don't know.
My mum and all my WhatsApp aunties talk about activated charcoal every single day of my life. That and aloe vera juice. I don't understand it, but activated charcoal, Mum, I don't feel. Have you had tea charcoal?
When we cut ourselves activated charcoal, when you feel sick, activated charcoal, you feel stomachache, activated charcoal, anything, activated charcoal.
The thing is, it does work.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I'm resistant.
But it hurts your stomach if you have it too often.
I don't know about no activated charcoal, but there's stuff that you said before with the ginger and the garlic and that kind of stuff. That stuff is so disgusting. But you know you're going to be fine the next day.
Because the germs run away from it.
You are going to be fine the next day.
Everything that can flee is fleeing.
You know, my mum has a friend, actually. I have a friend whose dad, I'm sure he has he eats raw garlic every day. And he also has like raw onion every day. Let me tell you, he has never been sick in his entire life. I've never seen him cough, sneeze, sniffle. I've never. And I'm really thinking, you know what? Yeah, I need to be out here eating garlic every day. Why not?
They just put in your food anyway.
Yeah, no, he has it raw. There's something about it being raw.
When it comes through your pores, let's see.
Apparently, if you have it enough, you get to a point, maybe like on day like 72, your body's just used to it.
No, babes.
I'm serious. He doesn't smell of garlic.
No, babes.
He doesn't.
No, maybe he doesn't particularly. However, I've seen some cases of people who eat very rich, garlicky, gingery, very spicy food that it comes out of their pores. Like you would never. It doesn't matter.
No, I agree. You know, but you can get odorless garlic. Let me tell you something. My mum and Holland & Barrett's are best friends. Let me tell you,
my mum lives in Holland & Barrett's.
My mum should be the PR.
Odorless garlic. That sounds.
No, you can get. Let me tell you, you can get
ungodly.
Everything. You can get everything at Holland & Barrett's. My mum has odorless garlic. She has colon cleanse if I don't feel well. If you're taking a colon cleanse,
she literally on the phone. She was like,
"They would be
guys,
friends."
The reason why and no one ever is well is because you haven't gone and gotten a colon cleanse. And I thought she was gonna say, let's go and get what do I say? Not enema.
A colonic.
Colonic.
Yeah. No, it's not enema.
And then she said, no, what you need to do is you need to put 2 tablespoons in the morning, put 2 tablespoons of castor oil and mix it with lemon juice. You take it around 30 minutes later. Take some hot water because you need to go to the toilet.
Talking like a doctor, you know.
She said you need to do it every single day. My mom loves a concoction and she loves Holland Barrett.
You know what?
She's got literally the whole thing in a cupboard.
My mum will go to Holland Barrett's. You know how you like to go to Tesco's for jokes and I like to go to the hair shop and see what new styles I can concoct and do? My mum likes to go to Holland Barrett's for no reason. We went for dinner 2 weeks ago and she goes, I'm just going to pop to Holland Barrett's. Half an hour later, I said to Christian, where's your mum? She's in the shop. I said, let's go. There's nothing more that you can buy in the shop. If my mum could, I promise you, and maybe your mum as well, I think they'd like to do like live demonstrations in Holland Barrett's.
She's on Zoom calls doing live demonstrations.
My mum too. My mum, if anyone calls her, have you had colon cleanse? Have you had? I said, honestly, I swear to you, if she could do it, she'd walk into Holland Barrett's and do a live demonstration and be like, this is what you need to do for this. What's your problem? Next. Yes, pick a number,
my mum
any
is starting
number.
to be a medical missionary.
No way.
That's how much she loves it.
Yeah, but that makes a bit of sense. My mum isn't doing that.
My mum, she loves it. She loves a concoction. And it's all started with ginkgo biloba, and then it was downhill from there and there.
I don't need to hear about these new concoctions. You know, the old ones work.
Yeah, but are you gonna? But the new ones are the old ones. I think it's just.
She was literally
revamped.
She was talking to my cousin and she was on loudspeaker and I was laughing in the background and she said, and I can hear Angela laughing, but those who don't hear will hear in other ways. I said, all right, thanks. All right, thank you.
But you know what? We laugh at those remedies, but I'm giving those to my children. Trust me, if you don't feel well, it's okay, sit down, I'll boil some tea for you. I'll crush it and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
But that cayenne pepper mix, that's not nice.
No.
You know, it is, you know, because you just got to take it once.
Yeah.
You're good.
Whew. I don't know. Did your parents ever rub you down with rum when you were sick with flu?
Rum? No.
It's just mine? Oh, right.
My mum used to. There was no alcohol in the house, but I mean, when I was older, my mum said something like "rum's good for the belly." I was like, "Oh, really? Is it now?"
They say when you have flu, I think you can put rum in your bath, or like you can be rubbed down with it, or something.
Why does it have to be rum?
I don't know. With Jamaicans, I don't know.
rum is made in the country, so it's easily accessible. But no, not rum. I got Vicks.
Oi, listen, do you know Dominicans use Vicks for everything?
Really?
Did you know? For everything. Cream, hair grease, I'm telling you, maybe not hair grease. They use it for everything. Don't feel well, put it on your feet. Put it on your stomach. Like you put Vicks on your stomach?
No, I understand that. When you said hair, I was like, you want to smell like Vicks? No,
people do put Vicks in their hair. It's like a Vicks challenge. That's on YouTube.
I was listening to 3 Shots and Marvin was saying that it was Taser was saying that his brother had food poisoning and they put Vicks near his bum and it Tiger Bomb and the equivalent
Vicks or Tiger Bomb.
It was equivalent. It was it's Nigerian. It's what's the name? Oh no, I can't remember. And it, what do you call it? His stomach was fine after that. But
Mad.
would jump up into your intestines and fight everything.
Vicks,
I'm here.
Vicks, you got to think about it. You smell Vicks from quite a long way away.
I love
that
it,
thing is moving around.
I love it. I used to love it. I put it on my chest. My chest gets really warm. On my throat. On my back. I used to love it.
We just put it before you go to sleep. Just when you have like a stuffy nose, just put it on your chest.
It is lovely, but it makes me a bit. But it can stop food poisoning.
Who was your first crush when you were a child?
Oh.
No.
Mine was.
What did they look like?
Can I go first? Mine was the guys, and they sang a very familiar song, still the best known Christmas song, I think. Hold on. Stay now, baby, if you've got to East 17. What?
I didn't even know that there was actually a...
No.
East, are you all right?
No. I'm talking about who did you have a crush on? A person that you knew in real life?
Oh, George Adams from my school. But I think it was because of proximity, because in our school we had to sit in alphabetical order in our tutor group. And so my name begins with a B, my surname, and his is George Adams. George Adams, I don't think you listened to the podcast, but you were super cute when I was 9 in secondary school, 9 and 10, so you know.
Actually, no, I remember.
Was he white?
Everybody was white in my school, Lyndon. That's a very stupid question.
So in my head, the first person that popped in my head was white, and I was like, no, there must be someone before that. And I remember there was a lady that used to babysit me with my mum's friend, and she had a very young child, but she also had 2 really old, I think it was nephews, really old nephews, and I think he was like 17 when I was like 6 or something. I had the biggest crush on him, and he was so. I wish I knew where he was because he was like. I'm trying to think of myself as a 6-year-old. He entertained the whole thing. Like he was just like, he probably could tell that I had a crush on him, and he used to like. I used to like just watch him eat, or like just sit in the room and he had all his friends around, just sit in the room and just be like one. And he used to be like, you know, this girl's not eating, she can eat from my plate. Like she used to make, really sweet, like. Oh, I want you to come with me to the outside, and he would come outside.
Aww.
Really, really nice, really nice.
That's cute.
I can't remember his name.
If we're talking like that young, my first crush as a boy at primary school, this guy called Kai. And do you know why I liked him? No, it wasn't Kai, it was Curtis. And do you know why I liked him? Because I told you, he wore...
It's George, Curtis, Kai. I'm joking. I'm playing.
We're coming to you, sir.
And he was Rwandan, by the way. Yeah, he was Rwandan.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Oh, so it wasn't a white person?
No, I remember he lived in Seven Sisters. He had already moved out. That's how I know he was grown.
So if you lived in Seven Sisters when Angela was 7,
yeah, and if you are Derek's nephew, just I mean, you're probably like a full blown uncle and husband, and with kids that are.
But if you're not.
No. He was like 17 and I was like 6. Like that's a 11-year difference.
So man's touching 40s. Man's touching 40.
Yeah. But he was very sweet.
My first proper crush was this boy in my school called Curtis, and he had a high top, and I really liked him. And I don't remember his face, but I think I liked him because I liked how he dressed. I said this before. He wore like all yellow, and he wore like all yellow, including his trainers.
Was he a pimp? No, he was 4.
He was 7.
I was just trying to catch up with the story, and then you said all yellow, and I said, oh, wait a minute.
I don't remember his surname, but I don't think he's from Bristol. I don't know what he does now. But like, honestly, on a Monday, he'd wear like a yellow t-shirt and yellow shorts and then yellow trainers. And there was like some sort of night trainers. And then on Tuesday, he'd wear like all red. On a Wednesday, he'd wear like all green.
That
and
sounds like
all
very
white, all blue.
Behavior.
Very Jamaican.
Oh!
Very. But yeah, like he used to wear, and I just thought it was so cool. I was like, oh, Mum, I really like him. So why is it? Because he's got red trains and a red t-shirt.
Oh, that's so cute. I would never tell my mom that I liked anyone.
Oh, really?
I think I was embarrassed about it from the very beginning, like when I was a child.
Have
I remember
a conversation with your parents about who you got a crush with.
It was never going anywhere.
No, never. There was a little boy in reception, a little white boy called Nicholas, and he was like, would play with me, but I thought it was just you're my friend, you're playing with me. And then his mum told my mum that he wanted me to go to his birthday. It turns out I was the only girl at his birthday, yeah. And then I found out afterwards that the mum had kind of said to like my mum, oh, Nicholas really likes your daughter Angela, and I was so angry. I was so angry.
Why?
I think I was angry because, first of all, I didn't know that I was under the pretense that you were my friend, just my friend, under the impression you were my friend. Second of all, why did you get my mum involved? How can someone have these mental thoughts at this young age of like in reception? But I remember just feeling really embarrassed, and I think it came out as anger.
These kids know, you know.
And so I just never played with him. After that, I also felt really awkward because I was with his mum. I was with his mum the whole of his birthday, and you know when you're that young, a whole group of boys, they just want to play like kicking and jumping stuff, and I just wanted to sit, so I sat with his mum the whole evening. But I remember my mum like kind of smiling at me like, oh, like and I was just so angry. So angry.
Lyndon, LGK Music. Who was your first crush?
Let me just think, why did I ask this question?
Select one of the ones.
One of the ones?
One of.
I'm not the ones that's coming in with all the names.
I said 2 names,
you
mate.
Said 3.
Okay, thank you. Who was your first crush?
So, okay.
Oh, let me lock in.
It's not that interesting.
He said, so, okay, let me start from the
top. So every year back in the day, back at church, there was like a tent campaign every year, right?
Wow, and one tent is such close proximity.
What?
Church is such close proximity that I'm like,
doesn't matter. Anyway, remember one year there was a lot of people that came to our church. They're brand new, just found out about whatever, and then there was one girl that came to the church that I had a crush on for. Until she probably left church, to be honest. I was about 8 and she was 10. But the thing is, her mom became friends with my mom. So I saw her all the time. All the time. And then one time before I moved to secondary school, she took me to because her school was taking a test for another school. Right. And so she had to take me to that school. That was the most embarrassing moment of my life because I was
having a test in the what?
So there were 2 schools. I'd taken all the tests for the 11+. There's one more that I was taking for another school, which is quite a big school in Birmingham, but it's not a grammar school, but they still had a test to see if you need to be in the grammar stream. So, but the test was taken in her school, which was next to that school. So she took me to that school.
Oh, no.
But I just felt like
a child.
Yeah. Because I was 10 and she was 12. And it's weird then when you think about how big she's. No. She was so much. She seemed so much bigger than me then, because 12 and 10. That's quite a. When you think about, that's quite a lot. Yeah, it's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. But I had a crush on her for like 4, 5, 6 years.
You know what? I think young crushes are cute, to be honest. Like that young, because it's almost like puppy love.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about church, and I'm thinking about guys who I thought were so much older than me. Now turns out, like now I'm in my late 20s, that they probably weren't that much older than me. Oh my gosh, and I remember having. Oh, this is so embarrassing. Should I even say it on the podcast?
Say it.
I remember crushing this guy who was much older. He was like a guide at Pathfinders. We went to Camporee. Or was it cat meeting? And he was manning the like pool like there. And I remember like
the swimming pool.
Yeah, swimming pool. And I remember like being really young and like fake drowning. Like just this is correct. You know what you think? My insides are crumpling in the cringiness.
Did he jump in to save you?
No, he could tell. And he was and he was laughing. Like, are you okay? I said, yeah.
I thought I had an embarrassing story.
This is so embarrassing. And this person still exists. And we could most definitely end up at the same church on a random day. This is so funny. Sometimes I just hope that he's just kind of forgotten that it was me and why. But I haven't really changed. I have changed like you can still tell it was me. Like I haven't changed that much.
That is so funny.
Oh, so embarrassing.
I remember being very, because the girl that I had a crush on, she was going out with this guy that was a year older than her. And I remember finding out they were going out with each other. You know that meme with that black boy sitting on the table and just really angry? And that's how I felt. That's how angry I felt.
This is so sad.
I just want to give little Lyndon a hug. Like, it's
so
okay.
angry.
It's okay.
I was so upset.
So funny.
Little 10-year-old me.
But why? Like, we
Sad
have,
times.
like, imagine, like, our little 8-year-old selves or 10-year-old selves, we've got all these ideas about love and we're just so angry about somebody who we were never going to date anyway. It's mad, you know?
Oh,
Do you know who I blame? It Disney. Because honestly...
Disney,
Nah, it wasn't a Disney thing at all, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can't blame Disney. I wasn't thinking about that. I just like the girl, innit?
No.
DreamWorks was not a thing when I was a child.
No. No.
Maybe in your head it was Disney, but not mine.
I don't think it was. I'm telling you, I just like Curtis. I liked his high top. I thought he was really cute.
High top and matching colours.
Let me tell you, Curtis came to school dressed to the nines. I remember saying to my Mum, can I have my hair differently? I don't want to have 2 K-Mos, please. On a Monday, can I have something different? Because growing up, I had like a church hairstyle, and then I washed my hair on a Sunday, and then I have a school hairstyle. And I was like, oh, please, because Curtis has got a high top, and she'd be like, I don't care what Curtis has. But yeah. I thought he was cute.
The fact that you spoke so freely to your mum about it is
so
wild.
So mind-blowing.
There's madness.
You know what? When I went to secondary school, I didn't talk to her about any of my crushes. Like, I think she knows that I dated a guy who's now, I mean, he's an actor, but he's not famous, no disrespect. And he's also now gay, married to a black man. But I mean, I think she knows about him, like, now.
He wasn't black?
No, and no one in my secondary school was black. I told you this. Okay. So all the guys, like, I mean...
the high top was black, right?
That's my primary school.
Okay.
That was like when I went to primary school for 2 years in Bristol. Yeah, that's the only time. But like, I mean, that's the same time I went to school with black people. In Manchester, in my prep school, though, everyone was white. And in Bristol, my secondary school, everyone was white. Oh. So...
That didn't really affect your beauty standards, did it? Or did it?
Beauty standards? Like, as in what I think is beautiful? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
I think it definitely affected mine. Do you know what? Randomly the other day I was thinking, and something popped into my head about the first time I felt like I felt like what racism was, or discrimination, or someone just telling you you're not beautiful because you're black. I was in year 5, and my mom growing up used to always say, like, oh gosh, you're so gorgeous. I bet you, like, all the other parents wish they all to us all, like, you're such beautiful children. I just thank God I had beautiful children, blah, blah, blah. Like, always, like gassing us up. And I remember in year 5, there was some kind of, like, I don't know what had happened, but obviously white girl tears was the end of the conversation. One of the girls in the class, I remember her name was Charlotte, and she had really deep blue eyes. Anyway, So she had cried about something, even though she was the bully.
Always.
And I was a bit shocked. And I was always good at school. There's one thing I don't like is getting in trouble. Anyway, so now our South African teacher, her name was Miss
You had a South African primary school teacher.
White South African,
white
Miss,
teacher.
Miss Beddington or something like that. She said she needs to speak to us afterwards. No, both of us were upset. And she needs to speak to us after class. And then so Charlotte and I are both standing in front of her, and she's trying to like tell us basically say like try to tell us off. She tells me off, and then she turns to Charlotte and she said, she told her off a little bit, and then she said, but you know what, don't worry. The girl started to tear up. She said, don't worry, you're so beautiful, like don't cry with your big blue eyes and and I was thinking, right, everybody here's upset. And in my mind, I remember thinking, like, why isn't she showing me compassion? And because of the things that she was naming, like, if I had beautiful blue eyes like you, I wouldn't be upset. Like saying things like that, like, oh, look at your dark brown hair, your blue eyes, you're so beautiful. And in my head, it registered as like, I don't look like her, so she doesn't care. She definitely was a very racist teacher. Now that I look back at it, yeah, very racist. And I think it's the first time that I just felt really like hard done by, and nearly like upset to a point where, not upset, but it was just shocking. Like I'd never felt that so immediately. Like even I was upset, but she was just like nearly shooing me away. There was another time that we all brought. Do you remember tunes? They were like cough sweets.
Yeah.
And there was a time when it was like the thing, and everybody had tunes, and we brought them in, and then the teachers had to confiscate them from everybody in the class and put them in a drawer. And she was giving back everybody's tunes, and she decided not to give me. Well, she didn't end up giving me mine, and I was waiting for her to give me mine at the end of the day, back mine, and she was like nearly like huffing and puffing. She could see me standing there as a child in year 5, and she was just like ignoring me. And then when I said, "Oh, miss," like, and then she huffed like, oh, for goodness sake, and like very like the treatment I got from her, I really felt like I was isolated as one of 2 black girls in the class. Like it was just like, no, what you have to say, your emotions, how you feel about the situation don't really matter, because I don't think you're beautiful.
That breaks my heart because
Wild.
you were actually so young. Like I think that hearing that story, if you told me that happened in secondary school, there's a part of me that would be less annoyed about it, even though I think it's still discriminatory behavior, right? And that you're giving to a child. But like in secondary school, I kind of feel like maybe you're a bit more hardened to the world, and maybe you've been able to get through your primary years and develop your character. But this happened in year 5.
Mad.
When you were 9, 8, 9? How old are you in year 5?
I don't know where those ages there.
9 and 10.
9 and 10.
Yeah.
I just think that's absolutely horrid, and I hope that teacher, well, I don't know if she's still teaching, but I hope she's not. That just makes me really upset that people can act like that towards children. It's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
It's wild.
But I also think it's more common than we think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
Absolutely. Even in secondary school, I remember having teachers that were initially aggressive when they spoke to me, just because they felt like with black girls, they had to come in with vim when they spoke to them, and then like kind of become nicer. So they're speaking to everybody else normally, but when they speak to me, they come in with like nearly like a level of aggression or attitude, and I'm so sensitive. I was like, my food tech class, I couldn't cope. There's one time, oh my gosh, growing up, like this is another thing to link it together. They told me, our first food tech class, they said, all right, now I think we made risotto, and they said, okay, now you need to soak at the end of class, you need to soak your saucepans because you're not going to be able to wash it. So in my head, in our black household, soaking is like nearly overnight. So I leave it there. I fill it up with, I leave it, and then the next day, first thing in tutor, they say so and so wants to speak to you, and it was a short teacher like this, and she was screaming at me, also South African, screaming at me, wild, yeah, screaming at me, and she was screaming at me, and I started crying. It was the weirdest thing, because even in year 7, I was taller than her, so it's like this tall black girl crying on the short white teacher that's shouting at her. Wild. And that same teacher at the end of the term gave me a report for the only other black girl. And so there was a girl called Alicia in our class who was a bad child, just happened to be a bad girl. Gave me the wrong, wrote my report like she was writing about Alicia. So the point when I read the report, I was like, I know this is not me. So bunks or classes, I was like, she thinks my name is Alicia. She's giving me her report. Wild.
I mean, this doesn't really surprise me because, the amount of white South Africans in your area doesn't surprise me.
Why?
Both of my bosses were white South Africans. They both lived in that area.
Is it like a common area for South Africans to live in?
We had a lot
Rich
of
ones.
white South Africans and like people from New Zealand and Australia
What?
and stuff.
Them ones. Them
Lot.
expats. Them man there. But
Immigrants.
that's mad though. So what happened after you found out it was the wrong...
You tell your parents?
I told my
Before.
parents, but my parents were like, this doesn't even match anyway. They're like, what? I said, listen, I'm not even scared because this is definitely not me. And I told her, and then she was like, oh, well, I'll see what's on the... She didn't even apologize. She said, I'll see what's on the system or whatever. And that's it. She never really gave me my report.
Boys,
And that was it.
and you one of the few black people in your school,
In that
right?
class. No, there were more black people, but our school split into half, and the majority of the black people were on the other half. And I don't know if that was a coincidence or it was just, but the majority of black people were on the other half. Yeah.
Why was it split in
of the
half?
school.
I mean, campuses.
No. Split into half as in like every year was split into half. So there was six tutors, and 3 of them were on one side of the school and 3 of them on the other side of the school. In terms of like they had the English classes together. That we never mixed in our classes with the other half of our year.
That is so strange.
Until afterwards, until like GCSE time.
That's
so we
so
didn't have
strange.
the same English classes, maths classes. Even if you're all in top set, there was top set for that side of the year and there's top set for this
Our
side of
school
the
was
year.
the complete opposite. So like if you were in the set, she mixed your sets from years like 7 to 9.
Yeah.
And then you probably wouldn't see people like past year 10, like depending on what subject you chose. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I don't think I've had discriminatory behavior like that in school. But like, I mean, I'm happy to say this on the podcast. I've said it previously before. But like I had a teacher who would give people a black mark on their hand if they were late to their class, my DT teacher. And I just want to say, I don't believe he was a teacher. Like, you know, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a lot of private schools back in the day, you didn't have to be a teacher to teach. You just had to be like an expert in your field.
Oh, wow.
Like I'm sure some of our teachers were not teachers. They were just people who could do certain things or had gone to like Oxbridge or whatever. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, we had a lot of teachers that were doctor this and doctor that.
Yeah, they weren't teachers. They were just like, they had just become experts in a field at a particular prestigious university. Anyway, Mr. Shipman, and he was a horrible man. Didn't like children, had really long wavy hair, no hair in the middle, had a comb over, but really long wiry hair, smelled of like coffee and cigarettes. And it wouldn't surprise me if he had like people hidden in his house. He was a horrible man. If you were late to his class, he would give you a mark on your hand and then he'd write your name on the board and then you'd be picked on during the class to be like, right, so Angela, you were late, so what do you think about this? Angela, what materials we need to use for this, right? And we had like a whole massive DT lab. So in our school, year 7 and 8 were on one side of the school, and then you had to like walk to the DT block, but it was massive. Like you had to walk over the DT block to get to the assembly, so you had to kind of go underground. Anyway, me and my friend Gemma, I would love to actually. She let me ride her horse and everything. Yeah, horses in year 7. Anyway, she and I were just chatting as per, and we were late to details. Oh, we're going to get a black mark. She goes, don't worry, I'll go first. And then I would just sit down at the back. I said, okay, cool, no problem. And she was really good at DT, so we had a plan that she was going to answer the questions because I hated DT. So we both walk in, maybe 3 minutes after the bell, right, whatever. And Mr. Shipman, the bastard, you can keep that in. He was like, Gemma, why are you late? Sorry, sir, didn't hear the bell. I was just getting my lunch. She's like, whatever, black mark. Fabrice, why are you late? I was like, oh, sorry, sir, I was with Gemma. And then he takes out his pen. He goes, wow, you know what? Children who are late to my class get a black mark, but it's not going to show up on you, so I'm not going to bother. And I'd never heard anyone talk to me like that before. As you can see, so you can't see, but I actually have a birthmark on my finger that's black. That you can see.
Your skin isn't black. Let's just get
and
it's not black. It's brown.
I remember looking at my hand and thinking, what? And so Gemma was like, huh? So she just sat down and he didn't give me a mark. And then he made this really big thing about it. Oh, can't even give you a black mark, can I? Oh, so annoying. Oh, well, I guess I have to write your name on the board in black pen. Let me tell you, I told my mum, let me tell you about my mum, who's also called Angela. She just was like, I'm not having this. I'm just not having it. My mum was a governor, she became a governor for the school. She was like, you're not going to talk to my child like that. But that was the first time I remember feeling like, I'm going to be treated differently because I'm black. And maybe I was very naive. And also I was quite young. I was younger than everybody. So maybe I didn't have like the quite emotional intelligence. But I remember sitting down and Gemma was like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I think so. But I just felt very uneasy. And then over time I was like, that's a microaggression. But when you're in secondary school, you don't know what the hell a microaggression is. You just know someone's treating you differently because of what you're going through. That man was awful. Absolutely horrible. Now, to be fair, do I think he was a racist? Probably not. He was definitely prejudiced. He was a horrible, horrible individual. I mean, like, he just wasn't a nice person. He wasn't a good teacher. But it just made me angry that this sort of stuff is happening and nothing's being policed. Obviously, nowadays you can't say that sort of stuff. But to be honest, that was only 20 years ago. And I just thought, nah, it's horrible. But that's the first example, I think.
So I don't remember having any racial incidents really at school. Definitely not in primary school. Primary school is the easiest thing in the world. Apart from one teacher who thought I wouldn't make it to grammar school. But I did. My parents didn't tell me he said that until I got into it, so that's fine.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. I think he had one issue with me because from reception to year 4, I was the only black boy in our class. There was plenty of black girls, but I was the only black boy. And then another black boy came in and we became friends straight away. And then that's the first person I heard talking about things like I'm black and I'm proud and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. Me and him became friends. That whole year, the teacher did nothing but try to split us up for no reason.
These teachers in primary school are wicked.
Like, what's going on?
So wild.
They weren't really doing anything. But yeah, that's the same teacher that did that stuff and said I wouldn't make it. And the same teacher that said that got fired in the end. So, won him. Secondary school... Yeah, so I went to a secondary school with mostly Asian kids. That's number one. There were other black kids that are probably doing worse than I was, so I probably wasn't on their radar to get in terms of any racial business. And to be honest, there's no point being racist in that school because most people are not white.
Did you have any non-white teachers?
Not really.
Oh.
There were 1 or 2 Asian teachers. There was one black teacher that nobody really respected, but that's another thing. No, but she was really an idiot though, to be honest with you. Unfortunately. She lost in year 10, she lost all of our coursework. And she didn't come back the year after.
I just think they lie, you know. I think she lied.
We didn't get our coursework back. We had to do it again.
I don't know.
And then she got fired.
Oh.
So
wow.
I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah. But yeah, in school there was no girls in school either, so why are you talking about how I look? Anyway,
to be honest, the boys in my school didn't care about how they looked. I think they put gel in their hair and sprayed on links, and that was the extent
of it. Oh my gosh, they killed links.
Listen, the gel in their hair, we are taking the mick out of everyone that put gel in their hair.
Yeah.
Because it's a joke thing. But anyway.
It was a thing in a tin. I can't remember what it was called. It wasn't like gel, it was like...
I don't know what it was. I don't know what the man used. The man used water.
Is it Brillo? Not Brillo. There's something in a tin.
Yeah, but them man could use water.
Yeah, they could.
Yeah, so all that stuff didn't really matter to us, to be honest. And in terms of my beauty standards for me and for women, I've always liked black women since I was a child. And then I grew up watching 90s TV, which had black women on the whole time. So there was no...
So you never, ever, ever had a crush on a white woman?
No.
Ever in your life?
No.
I feel
normally living in a very...
Like a crush when I was a child?
Yeah.
No way. No.
And in primary school, you went to a mixed primary school.
Spice Girls or any of the...
The Spice Girls? That's the wrong...
The Spice Girl that I liked was Scary Spice.
Wow, you're really an anomaly.
When I was growing up, my dad told me that, listen, black people are the most beautiful, most intelligent people in this earth. Don't let anyone tell you that it's different.
Yes,
and I believe that
Uncle
to this
Leroy.
day. I believe that to this day. So this racism thing is a madness for my brain because I'm trying to understand, there are people here growing up thinking the opposite. Even people that look like me thinking the opposite, and that's wild.
Yeah, it's wild and very sad.
It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. Especially if you grew up watching TV in the 90s, it doesn't make that much sense. But
see, Dad? That's why you should have let us watch 90s TV.
That's true.
No, but that is true. I was.
You see a whole Moesha and
cute.
Listen,
Moesha.
It's when I started watching Girlfriends
I'm talking about Moesha here.
Okay, well, I'm talking about.
I'll talk about Moesha.
You talk about Moesha. I'll talk about Q. And sisters, but their boyfriends when they came on, I just said, "Whoa!"
When I started seeing shows like that were representative of me and my sisters and people around me,
changed everything.
It changed everything.
But even before that, there was Cosby Show. And there was Different World.
Did you not? I used to watch Cosby Show and I used to
Cosby Show is Different World. There was Fresh Prince. There's Fresh Prince. There was all that. That's all I spent my time watching.
When I was a teenager and when I was maybe 16 plus.
I didn't watch white TV.
I watched white TV all the way.
We watched a lot of white TV.
I didn't watch white TV.
I did grow up in Manchester and we were poor then, so we didn't have cable.
Oh, you didn't have okay. Yeah, okay. So if you didn't have cable, you couldn't watch Black TV.
Yeah, cable. Everything was blocked.
The only thing, I mean, MTV Base has been out there staying, having all kinds of like black women in the video, blah blah.
Exactly.
And to be honest, even then, like the black women in the video that they had then were very different to the women that they have now in the videos. Just putting it out there. But like I used to try and sneak and watch MTV Base, but if I got catch, oof, it was all over.
It was blocked. MTV was blocked. Everything was blocked.
What were you watching?
What are those kids
Veggie
that go on those things?
What?
Kids?
What kids?
Dora Explorer.
No.
Not Dora.
What's the respect my name? At least Tracy Beaker. What?
See, I've never seen a single episode of that.
Or
do you watch Kaching?
Totally Spies. No, I didn't
Kaching
like
was
it.
black people.
Kaching was black people.
I watched that.
I didn't like it. Totally Spies, Powerpuff Girls, all of them. All the ones that had three
Cartoon
sisters.
Network.
All the ones that had the three people together. At least then we could say I'm him, her.
Didn't you watch Rugrats? Rugrats had a black kid in there.
Watched Rugrats.
You've never watched Rugrats?
Never watched Rugrats.
Hey Arnold.
Watched Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold was
Recess.
To be honest, Hey Arnold is the best cartoon, hands down. We've discussed this already, but I just want to bring it back up.
I didn't really watch Hey Arnold.
Oh,
even the Cartoon
show.
Network was really blocked until we finished our homework. And for me, he's a procrastinator. It was time to eat and sleep.
Oh, I wasn't allowed to watch TV like that. I couldn't watch TV after my parents had checked my homework and they'd understood it for themselves.
I had to do my homework and do piano practice and then clarinet practice and then it's alright to watch TV.
And that's why you're the man you are today.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
The man I am today is because I grew up going to school with people who were not all white. There were white people there, but still, I understood that people were in different races, and there's no reason to be ashamed of mine. I went to church every week, so that's all black people as well. On TV and watching black people in America, I saw black people all the time. So it's not normal. I thought it should be normal for everyone who was growing up when I was growing up, but it wasn't. So that's why I'm the way I am.
No, that's true.
And that's on that.
Can I just shout out a really good teacher though? I remember the first time I went to Rwanda in Uganda in year 3. We went for maybe 3 weeks. We came back and obviously me and my sister was super tanned. And I don't know what I thought about it then, but I remember being in the playground. Was that in year 2? I think it might have been in year 2 actually. I remember being in the playground and I remember hearing things like, "Oh, you're dark" or whatever, and maybe feeling a little bit like sensitive. I don't know. Then there was a black teacher, Miss Woods, who ended up getting married and being called Miss Lake. And that's a true story. And
she's a black man. She's a black man called Lake.
She's like Lake, yeah. Her name, she was black as well. So and she said, "Oh my gosh, your tan is so lovely, it's so beautiful." And she kept raving about it for the week. Calling all the other white teachers "Oh my gosh, look at her skin." And it really, I don't know how, and this is how you know that things are really indoctrinated in you, and I don't know how. I was a bit taken aback by the fact that she was complimenting me and me having a tan, but I was like,
here we go.
Yeah, it was just really surprising. I think even at the young age, I can remember feeling, I don't know how to explain the feeling, but nearly taken aback that this teacher was nearly not praising, what's the word, affirming and just saying that you are beautiful and you're even more beautiful now you've got a tan. Yeah. And it really undid things that I didn't realize had been done mentally in my mind, but it undid some things and I really started to think, oh wow, I don't know, teachers like that just need a clap because she really did a God's work. And I don't know if she knew that she was doing God's work at that time. If
she was black, maybe.
Yeah, she was mixed race actually.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying that good teacher can really reverse the damage that bad teachers do if it's the right time. But I remember 2 teachers that were so good in primary school that the experience with them kind of trumped all the other bad experience that I might have had at school. So shout out Mrs. Russell and Mrs. Jones. Don't even know if you
shout out to you.
Don't know if you're out here alive still even, but just hope you are.
I hope you are.
That's so sad, isn't it? Maybe they are. I don't know. I don't remember having great primary school teachers, to be honest. I had one called Mrs. Wiseblum, Wise Blossom, and I would think
Wise Blossom.
I think so. Anyway, she was my. I don't really remember primary school. 'Cause, to be very honest, I wasn't there very long. But I remember I came with a very strong Mancunian accent, and I was very chatty. And I put my hand up to answer all the questions, and the kids didn't really like me. Then I think she was just like, no. Fabrice has got something important to say, and he used to tease me about my accent. And I was bullied in primary school. Oh yeah, this girl tried to push me in the middle of the road, tried to kill me with the car coming. Oh yeah, it was a big thing. My mum had to call the school, but she was always very nice, and so I think she put me with this girl called Valerie. And so Valerie, why don't you become friends with Fabrice? And Valerie was like, okay. But then Valerie became my friend for like 2 years. So she was quite nice, but this affirming of my complexion and my blackness, nah. That didn't happen in school at all. But I think it's really important in primary school. I don't know what key stage that is, but that like age from, how old are you in primary school? 7? Is it 7?
Yeah, you start when you're 5.
Started 5. Yeah.
Do
No,
you?
4.
Yeah.
When I started
In
primary
primary
school.
school?
When I started reception, I was 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5, because you come out of nursery at like 4 or 5.
Oh, so you're talking about year
September.
1. So I'm talking
Yeah.
about year 3, sorry.
Oh, so key
year
stage 2.
1.
Junior school.
Yeah.
Key stage
school.
2. Key stage 2 is
In junior school, you're 7
like
to
8,
8.
7, 8. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm talking like those like 7 to like year 3 to year 6. Crazy important, I think. Really important to be around people that affirm you, and if possible, people that look like you. Because actually, do you know what? Secondary school is it's a testing time.
The more I think about it, I think of year 3 and year 4. Year 3 was like the teacher didn't really care too much about me, but I was fine with myself. I was. I don't know what I learned that year, but I learned enough to go to year 4.
Right.
Year 4 had an idiot, but still, it's whatever. It didn't really affect me too much. Year 5 had an amazing teacher. When I say this teacher's amazing, the teacher made me realize there's nothing that I can't understand. There's nothing that I can't do. There's no test that I can't get 100% on.
Oh yeah.
Because that teacher made me feel like that.
Yeah.
And I did do that because she made me feel like I could do it. So I did it. And that kind of helped me throughout the rest of my school life, because I knew, listen, if I can do anything then, I can do anything. It doesn't matter what year I am.
No, that's true.
So that one teacher, it doesn't matter. That one teacher could kind of change everything for you. As long as you had that good one.
That's true. All having a
Isn't
parent,
it?
my dad was like, so the people that get 100%, do they have 2 heads?
Oh gosh.
And so my dad taught us algebra from like year 3 to the point where when we got to year 6 and they started to teach us a little bit of algebra, and on the top table, I already knew everything and they had to take me out of class because I was just sitting there doing nothing.
I mean,
And I got a merit, and I said, you know what? Actually, yeah, thank you, Dad. All that crying at home has made me happy at school. I can flex, but they don't know the tears and sweat that has gone into
All the
this.
times tables you had to learn at home, but you get to school and you're
god.
banging out the times table test
Yeah.
because it's nothing.
It is nothing, but also like, let me tell you something. I'm an excellent speller. Why? Because I had to learn to spell when I was 3.
Wow.
Okay, I can spell anything, and I feel like I've always been a good speller. I don't think it's something that I learned. I'm telling you, by the time I got to 3, I think I could spell everything, any word that you needed, because my dad gave me his own personal spelling tests, and if I got them wrong, friend, you had to write that out, the whole page. Do you know what it's like to be 3 and you're here writing and your tears are smudging your words? It's a very sad story.
Wow.
But parents are important, but your teachers are also important because they spend the majority of the time with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
That scares me.
it's scary.
When I have children, that
Yeah, but
really
it's
scares
scary.
me. Because I don't know if I can trust these people.
My kids are going to a very particular school. I don't know where I'm going to find it, but it will be there. And if I can't find it, somebody needs to have a little Montessori school or something. Yeah. Steph, if that's what you want to do, let me know, babes. My kids can go there.
Absolutely.